I'm here right now, live at the Iron Line sled dog race, and I have a musher here, Linda Thompson, who came all the way from Minnesota just to attend this race. Coming up, we'll have Joshua performing live here and rocking the Bay for all of us here later on your news tonight. Live in Gladstone, Monique Lopez, TV6 News. Back to you, Sophie. That's right, Greg. It's a perfect way to relax. I'm surrounded here by hundreds of beautiful pieces of art. As you can see, raising your own livestock isn't as easy as it seems. Monique Lopez, TV6 News, Iron Mountain. Even though you're not required to wear a life jacket, you must still have it readily accessible and have one available for every person on the boat. So the next time you think your job is tough, try walking a mile in their suit. I thought I'd put in a little footwork and try to become one with nature too.
You walk, that's how God made us. Walk on the balls. That's what animals do. Like foxes. Fox walk, they walk on their toes. But then you bring your heel down. First, I know. But at least you tried it, Monique.
And I can tell you firsthand, the feeling of accomplishment is every bit as great as they say. All right, so how do I get down now?
Monique?
Hey, Greg and Sophie. I just got an update from clerk employees a few minutes ago here, and as of right now, 13 out of 17 precincts are reporting. The black color water that was spurting out of the faucet and the metallic odor that the owner smelled were two separate issues from there being levels of arsenic and lead found in it. Witness testimony is scheduled to begin again tomorrow morning, where lead investigator on the case, Laura Frizzo, is expected to take the stand. In 2015, a total of 428 homeless people were reported, and that was in Dickinson County alone. Kelly Cochran is expected to stay on the stand for the rest of the day. Her testimony may even carry over into Monday. Monique Lopez, TV6 News, Crystal Falls. Hey guys, yes, this nearly 3-week trial has been a long time coming. The prosecution introduced over 100 exhibits and originally planned to call over 60 witnesses to the stand. And another thing to remember when out of town and on vacation, enjoy it. Stay away from posting on social media and say telling everyone all about the fun you've had for when you get back home. If the city of Iron Mountain thought that the storm forgot about them, it clearly did not. The project is estimated to cost about $45,000, but the DNR only expects it to take about a couple weeks to complete, right in time for snowmobile season.
All right, I'm tired.
There is no such thing as being tired when you're in a position like this.
That's hard work.
It really just proves that once you're a knight, you're always a knight. You're always going to be united, no matter through good times, through bad times. It's just the whole community coming together.
Norway Vulcan area schools recently started its #United initiative, but never has a hashtag been more fitting for a school and a community than now in their time of need.
It's what we want to try to instill in our students, that we are one big family. We are all knights. It's a bigger picture than us, one person or us selfishly. And #United, we are one. And it's a great example of this isn't just for school, this is our school community.
Immediately after Brian was found, memorials to honor the Norway high school football star were set up at the entrance of the field he once played on and at the bridge he was last seen alive at. Everyone in the small community felt the strong need to show their support for Brian and his family, even if it was in just a small way.
6/13/17 was the date that he passed. So in a row, it's not all on one shoe, but so B16/13/17. For us to be on the court together, we knew we had to put our shoes together to make the final.
A GoFundMe page to raise money for Brian's funeral expenses was created. In just a few hours, the goal was not only met, but exceeded. Additionally, friends of Brian on a race team began making and selling t-shirts in his honor.
It's just taken off. It's been incredible. Brian was always at the racetrack with me. You know, he was one of my biggest supporters, one of my biggest fans, and it's just trying to give back, you know.
Brian Stankina lost his life on June 13th to save another's. So you see, this story should not be remembered as just another tragedy, but rather it should be revered as a story of a heroic knight who in his death united an entire community. Monique Lopez, TV6 News, Norway. Tom Tucholsky, a paraplegic U.S. Coast Guard veteran, has been confined to a wheelchair for almost 7 years. When he began experiencing health issues directly related to his impairment and inability to move, Tom turned to the VA for help.
Now he had a need, and his best idea was to come up with some exercise equipment that helped move his knees. So knowing that he was still very functional in his home with his family and in the community, it seemed that we were able to do so much more than just supply him with a piece of exercise equipment.
The VA contacted the Standing Company, a manufacturer specializing in standing wheelchairs. Tom was fitted for his very own custom standing chair, free of charge. And after years of being forced to sit at a level half his height, Tom now stands tall at 6'3".
I mean, it feels great. I mean, this is, it's been almost 7 years since I've had this happen, and it just feels phenomenal. I mean, I haven't stopped smiling since I got the chair, and it's something that most people take for granted, but when you can't do it, it's.
For this stay-at-home father and husband, the health benefits and newfound sense of independence are more than he ever thought were possible.
Just talking to people, it's nice to be up again, at a tall level. And it was great seeing my daughter, the way that she reacted the first time that she ever seen me stand. She's never seen me stand since she was born, so it's a big morale booster.
Tom is enjoying the ability to do all of the small things we often take for granted that require standing. The nearly 3-week murder trial has been a long time coming, and today it has finally come to an end. In her closing, prosecuting attorney Melissa Powell made it a strong point to have a part of Regan present while she drove home the fact that Cochran played a huge role in his death and the cover-up of it.
Chief Rizzo testified his watch, wallet, car keys, phone, and necklace are still missing to this day, actually, as well as the rest of Chris Regan.
Cochran was accused of helping her now-deceased husband, Jason Cochran, kill, dismember, and hide the remains of Regan. By working in concert with Jason, as Powell put it, to murder Regan, the two were bonded in blood.
They're both monsters. Her words, not mine. Ladies and gentlemen, the defendants in this matter were bonded in blood. Chris Regan was bathed in it. And at this time, I'm asking you to wash away the blood and find the defendant guilty of all counts.
A little before noon, the defense concluded their closing arguments in the case of the now convicted murderer. Defense attorney Michael Scholke used the inconsistencies and lies told by his client to authorities to plead his case. He told jurors that those very lies are the precise reasons why Cochran should not be found guilty.
A liar is a liar. Anything that Ms. Cochran tells you should be looked at with skepticism and great scrutiny. And I think if you do that, looking here, you'll see that the only evidence that the people have to get to their burden is the word of Ms. Cochran. No other evidence.
Scholke continued by saying that, given the lack of evidence, doubt could even be cast on whether Regan was ever even shot in Iron County.
Is there any evidence, scientific evidence, that this crime, that Mr. Regan was even shot in this county? It's Kelly's word.
After deliberating for just under 3 hours, the prosecution got the verdict they've been waiting to hear for over 2 years now. Guilty on all counts in the death of 53-year-old Christopher Regan of Iron River.
Guilty of first-degree premeditated murder.
Monique Lopez, TV6 News, Crystal Falls. The Florence County Sheriff's Office responded to a call Monday afternoon from someone who had spotted the vehicle. When deputies arrived, they located the car upstream from the boat landing in Florence Township and approximately 30 feet from the shore. Half of the car was on ice, with the back half of it in open water.
When our officers arrived, they located the dog in the car, but there was no one else in the car. Our officers searched the shoreline from where the vehicle was found. At this point in time, we are still looking for him.
Officials say tire tracks indicate that Hamilton drove onto the ice at the boat landing and along the shoreline. It's believed he may have tried turning his car around when the back tires fell off into the water. And while officials have ruled out foul play at this time, family members have not.
I went down to his house. I went into the house. The house was destroyed. Like, there was chairs broken, stuff flipped upside down. Nothing usual, like my dad would not do this.
It's not like him to just take off without having somebody in the family or one of our friends knowing where he's at or what he's doing, it's not normal behavior for him.
What's more, a neighbor of Hamilton says around 2 a.m. Monday morning, she heard tires screeching and saw the 6-year-old's car pull into his house, but never saw who got out of the vehicle. For this mild-mannered man, this was also highly unusual.
I've never seen any erratic behavior like that, ever.
Deputies searched the shoreline, but were unable to send a dive team in today. The Florence County Sheriff's Department says it's the condition of the water that's hampering their search efforts. They're hoping that within the next 24 or 48 hours, the water will open up enough to deploy a team of search divers. Monique Lopez, TV6 News, Florence.